Hi, I'm Mia. Like and subscribe to the channel, shall we? 3 months into his training, Daniel's progress was nothing short of remarkable. His speed had improved exponentially, allowing him to move like a blur in simulated battles. During this period, Sir Cedric took him to the vast forests of the kingdom, where Daniel underwent grueling survival and hunting training. It was a brutal experience, one where Daniel had to learn to kill animals and wild monsters with his own hands, a harsh lesson meant to steel him for the realities of war. His swordsmanship had also advanced significantly, each swing sharper and more precise. The fire magic, which had once been a mere flicker, now burned stronger by the day. Though it was far from a destructive explosion, the potential was evident, growing alongside Daniel's determination. Taking a moment to rest after another intense session, Daniel sat in an open field, his breathing heavy. Lyra, who had been quietly observing his progress, approached with a serene expression. However, there was a subtle sparkle in her eyes, an emotion she was only beginning to understand herself. "You've come so far, Daniel," she said with a gentle smile. "It's inspiring to see how determined you are to improve. Your fire magic might still be small, but the way you control it, it's impressive." Daniel, caught off guard by her kind words, felt his cheeks grow warm. "Thank you. I still have a lot to learn, but I feel like I'm heading in the right direction," he replied, his tone humble yet hopeful. Lyra felt her heartbeat quicken, but she quickly shifted the conversation before her admiration became too obvious. Moments later, Alden, Sir Cedric's squire, approached. Over time, Alden and Daniel had become more than just training partners. Their bond had grown into a strong friendship, almost like brothers, a connection Daniel had never experienced in his lonely past life. "You're doing great, Daniel," Alden said, giving him a playful punch on the shoulder. "I almost managed to keep up with you today." Daniel laughed, returning the gesture. "It's good to have someone to compete with. It pushes me to work harder." The two exchanged stories and laughter, deepening their newfound camaraderie. But the light-hearted atmosphere was shattered by the arrival of a royal messenger, his urgency palpable. He went directly to the king, and soon, the news spread like wildfire throughout the castle. The demon army was advancing rapidly toward the kingdom. War was imminent. The first skirmishes were expected in just 2 weeks. This revelation cast a heavy shadow over everyone, especially Daniel. He knew that all the training, all the effort he had poured into improving himself, would soon be put to the ultimate test. Standing under the setting sun, Daniel resolved himself. He wasn't just fighting for survival anymore. He was fighting for the friends he had made, for the people he wanted to protect. With the war looming and news of the approach of a demon general, known as the Prideful, Daniel knew he had to intensify his training. This general, infamous for his arrogance and ostentatious armor, was always surrounded by sycophants who fed his ego. Exhaustive training. Daniel threw himself into his training with renewed fervor. Each sword swing, every fire spell he conjured, and each step that increased his speed was a step toward preparing for the inevitable battle. His fire magic, though still modest, was steadily growing stronger. The flames burned a little brighter each day, a testament to his relentless efforts. From afar, Princess Elyana watched Daniel with concern, while Isabel, ever by his side, voiced her worries more openly. "You're overworking yourself, Daniel," Isabel said one evening. "You'll collapse before the battle even begins." But Daniel, steadfast in his resolve, shook his head. "I can't afford to stop. I need to be ready, not just for myself, but for everyone relying on me." An unexpected encounter. The next day, Isabel took Daniel to the bustling city market to gather supplies for the castle. As they strolled through the crowded streets, something in a small pet shop caught Daniel's eye. A tiny feline with striped fur, piercing blue eyes, and a pink nose stared directly at him. "How much for this one?" Daniel asked the shopkeeper. 2 gold coins, the man replied without hesitation. "That's so expensive," Isabel exclaimed, shocked. Despite the steep price, Daniel felt an inexplicable connection to the creature. Without hesitation, he handed over the coins and took the kitten with him. "How do you plan to take care of it?" Isabel asked, still skeptical. "I don't know," Daniel admitted, gazing at the cat with curiosity. There's just something about it. A midnight revelation. That night, as Daniel prepared for bed, he placed the kitten beside him. Exhausted from the day's rigorous training, his eyes barely stayed open. But as the room fell silent, a soft voice broke through the darkness. Daniel. His eyes snapped open, and he turned toward the kitten, who was now staring at him with an intensity that sent a shiver down his spine. You can talk? Daniel stammered, both startled and intrigued. The cat blinked slowly, as if waiting for the perfect moment to reveal more. To be continued.
The battles I fight, the strength I show, but deep inside there's something you don't know. I'm hiding my heart, can't let it be seen. Behind all the armor there's more than it seems.